Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm with Imogen from WeeklyImogen.
Hello.
She was there at the start of the channel and she works with Mark, who makes the videos on a regular basis. We wanted to talk about whether it matters how much skin you show on camera. Did you want to talk a bit about how you decided on how much you wanted to take off, or like how much skin you wanted to show?
It's an interesting one with kind of how I've kind of come into it, because modelling was never something that I wanted to do or that is my main thing now. It's kind of just happened and is something that I've ended up enjoying and love being part of now. What Mark and I do that's kind of more educational on the channel and the workshops we do as well. When I first started, it was literally just that Mark was doing an exhibition of the village where we lived and the people within the village, and he asked for me and my mummy to take a photo together, and my mummy said, you can't take a photo of me, but you can have my daughter. I came home and had no idea this was going to happen and was like, what? And then he asked me to keep working with him, and I did, and kind of fell into doing it. Inevitably, when you're working with someone, you face the hurdle of where were we going to go with the photos and what are we going to do and what's
where does the boundary lie?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that was a kind of a wiggling place for quite some time. I think for me, it partially came a little bit from the things that I'm comfortable with myself. I'm not particularly a person who likes to show off much of myself most of the time. I think I realised that I was quite uncomfortable with it anyway, and so decided that I didn't want to show much flesh. As I got older, the different things I did where I realised that I didn't really want to be a performer anymore also affected that, because I realised it was something that I do on the side rather than my main income, and I realised that really I wanted to keep the two kind of as professional and separate as I could.
You were telling me a while ago that you wanted to keep a certain name, but people found out your surname so that they could link like the more risque photos back to like you.
I remember it happening really clearly because it was never expected that all of the photos that Mark was posting would become as successful as they are, and now obviously it's really exciting because we're able to do so many good things with it, and kind of the educational side is something that I feel really passionate about. But I remember when it happened, it was actually an ex-boyfriend who was an ex-boyfriend at the time suddenly sent me a message and his name flashed up on my phone and I was like, oh, what do you want?
Yeah.
Kind of opened it and he was like, people are hunting you down on the internet on Reddit. They were actually hunting down my name through the internet because it was just my first name that we ever put out, but it felt like quite an invasion of privacy. And I think it's just more the sense that even though I only really work with Mark, I'm always doing a job and I'm kind of embodying a character that he wants me to be for the shoot, and so it then feels really weird to know that people have searched through the internet to find out your surname and who you are, and that's something that's definitely personal to me.
You didn't get to the point where you thought, oh, I've shown too much skin so I need to go like back pedal, because that's what happened to me. I sort of started doing topless shoots where I was showing my nipples, and I suddenly woke up and realised, oh, actually I don't think I want to put that image out there. But you never had that point where you went too far and you brought it back?
I think I did, but not so much in the sense that I felt like, gosh, I've just taken off all of my clothes and I'm not comfortable with it. If you put yourself out and people find you attractive, even if you have a little bit of skin on show, even if it's just like a slight suggestion of cleavage, then people will tend to read something sexualized into the image. And I think that's the point where I thought to myself, actually on the base of it, I've always been clothed, but there's something that people are perceiving in these images that I don't feel comfortable with, the thought of people I don't know looking at me like that, in that way. So then I kind of had to reassess and backtrack and be like, I need to be really careful about what I do. I need to kind of almost be reading 100,000 people's minds before saying yes.
Wow.
No pressure.
How do you feel about Mark putting like a sexual spin on the thumbnails and things like that? He always tries to make it like a bit risque so that it's clickable.
I think it's always a little bit of a sticking point because I am just naturally like aggressively prudish, but then I do understand his marketing point of view, and I think because it's very much a joint venture, it's always something that's had to be in discussion, I think, and I think it's good to be challenged either way. So for me it's good because my natural response is I want to wear a polo neck and I want someone to say, we're talking educationally about exactly how a camera works, and it's really good to have that dialogue between us, so both of us get to kind of meet somewhere in the middle and think about what we're doing and really nail down into what we actually want to show. I think the nice thing about the channel growing is that we have more people working on it, and that means that everyone can bring a different flavour. And it's also been nice for me because it means that I can really do what I really like doing, which is just talking about the body of work and discussing it in a way that feels really comfortable to me.
Yeah, you have like the clickable title, the clickable thumbnail, but then you have like actual substance to the videos, which is nice.
Yeah, and I think you've really hit the nail on the head for it with how I feel there, is that if you are going to be showing a little bit of cleavage, there has to be a point. It can't just be for the sake of it, otherwise it makes me feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, there's, you know, a bit of my skin on show here, but within the context of this image, this is helping to tell a story, and then it feels like it's something that is within the piece of art rather than just, here's a nice photo, PS, can you also, you know, take your cardigan off just so we can see a bit of arm for no real reason.
Thanks for joining me.
Right.
If you want to check out WeeklyImogen, everything is linked in the description below, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye!